Hi Summit, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Promoted Sandra. Here on my YouTube channel, I do cutting and sewing tutorials, pattern drafting, DIYs. If that is something you're interested in, don't forget to stick around on this channel by subscribing. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to sew this beautiful corset dress with a yoke and also a peplum sleeve. So this corset dress is an inbuilt corset top. So I'm just going to turn it. So I will open up the zip. So as you can see, this top is an inbuilt corset with a zip. This is the inbuilt corset and this is the zipper. So this is for people who want to snatch their waist. I'll be sharing with you how to sew this inbuilt corset top with a yoke and also a peplum sleeve. I already have the drafting and cutting tutorial up there on the channel. In case you've not watched it, I'm going to be leaving the link at the description section. Go and watch it because today's video is going to be the sewing tutorial. Stay tuned. So guys, I've gone ahead to cut this out on my fabric, and as you can see, I went ahead to add ½ inch for joining allowance all around the curve, the yoke, the center front, the side front, including the down part and the back. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and remove the pattern paper. So after cutting it out of my fabric, I ironed cloth stain on each of the fabric. Okay, both the back and the front, I ironed cloth stain. They also went ahead to cut out lining for each piece, and I ironed gum stay on each of the piece. Okay, for the lining, I ironed gum stay, while for the fabric, I ironed cloth stain. This is the yoke. I'm just going to remove the pattern paper, and for the yoke, I went ahead to cut out two pieces. One is going to be serving as the main fabric and the other one will be serving as the lining. So I also did the same thing for the back. I went ahead to cut out two pieces each. I also went ahead to cut out breast tube for the cup. So as you can see, I went ahead to cut it out the way it is on my pattern paper. I didn't add any ½ inch joining allowance or sewing allowance as I did for the fabric. So if you also have a ready-made cup, you can make use of it. But for me, I'm going to be using breast tube. Okay. So I also went ahead to label it 1 and 2 because I don't want to mix it up. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and sew the cup together. To do that, I went ahead to place my pattern paper on my cup just to be sure I am picking the right part. So I will pick number 1 and number 2. Okay, I will pin it down. After pinning it, I will pick the other part. I will also pin it down. Then I will do the same thing for the lining as well. I will also go ahead and pin down the breast pad. So if you have zigzag machine, just go ahead and place the center together and sew it. But for me, I don't have zigzag machine. I'm just going to go ahead and pin it down. After pinning it, I will take it to the sewing machine and sew it like this with 1/4 inch, while I will also go ahead and sew this other side with ½ inch. Okay, so guys, I'm done sewing it. This is how it look like. As you can see, I will go ahead and notch it round. Then I'll also go ahead and notch the other one. I will do the same thing for the lining as well. After notching it, I will go ahead and iron it open like this. Okay, so I'm using my breast ham for this. I will iron it. I will iron the other one. Then I'll also iron the lining. I'm done ironing the cup. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to join the front together. To do that, I will place the side front like this to the center front. I will pin it down just like as you can see me doing. After pinning this side, I will open it like this. Then I will pin this other side. And whatever I do for the front is what I'm going to be doing for the lining as well. So when you want to sew this part, please sew it straight. I made a mistake and I'm saying it. Just go ahead and mark a straight line. Okay, don't follow the curve. Just mark a straight line like this and sew it. Forget the curve around the waistline. So after sewing the front, I will go ahead and join the yoke together like this, right side facing each other. I will sew the neckline. Make sure the right side are both facing each other. Then I will also go ahead and pin the back together, right side facing each other. Okay, go ahead and pin it down. After pinning it down, I will go ahead and sew the neckline. I will sew the center back like this. Okay, that is the only part I'm going to be sewing. So for the front, I'm done sewing it. This is how it look like, as you can see. I also went ahead to iron it out with my iron. So for the yoke, I will turn it to the front. So as you can see, I will just go ahead and turn it to the front. I will iron it. So for the front, I will go ahead and notch it round before I turn it. After I was done notching it, I will turn it like this and iron it. After I was done ironing it, I will go ahead and sew the shoulder like this. I will sew the armhole together. Then I will sew the down together. I will just go ahead and sew it. Then I will do the same thing for the back. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to place the breast tube on the breast cup and iron it out. So I will make sure I place the right breast tube on the right breast cup. Okay, so that is why it's very important for you to do notching or just number it for you to be able to do it right. Okay, so when you are ironing it, just use your hand to mold it, just like as you can see me doing. So guys, this breast ham is not doing justice to the middle of this breast cup, so I will make sure I use my small ironing table. I will just go ahead and use it to iron the middle very well, because the middle is kind of a little bit squeezed because of the breast ham. Okay, it's not doing justice. So guys, I'm done ironing it, and this is how it look like. So what I'm going to be doing next is to fold the front part of this dress into two like this and iron it out. Please pay attention to what I'm about to do. So for the shape of the down part, I will go ahead and reshaping it. I will place my French cup on it and redraw it. Okay, I want the down part to be as curvy as I want it to be. So I'll go ahead and cut this part out. Then I'll also go ahead and recurve this side like this. Okay, this part is not necessary. Okay, you can just give your own, the design of your choice. So I'll go ahead and curve it out. Then I'll go ahead and fold the lining into two. After folding it, I will place the front part, which I just curved just now. I will go ahead and place it on the lining and retrim the lining again. Okay, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to make my own buba bias, which I'm going to be using for the boning case at the front of the dress. So to do that, I will be using this black ribbon, and also I will be making use of this buba bias maker to make my own buba bias. Okay, it comes in different sizes. Okay, for me, this is like the smallest size or the medium size. So I will just go ahead and do it off the camera. So guys, I'm done making it, and this is what I have. I have with me here two type of bonings. Okay, this particular one I am holding is called the original bone. It's also called the sewable bone, which means you can sew on it. This second one is the non-sewable bone, which is the normal bone. Okay, so it means you can't sew on it, and this is the one I'm going to be using for the making of this corset. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and mark out the structures for the boning. Okay, so I'll mark a straight line across like this. Then I will mark one line here. I will mark another one here. Then I'll go ahead and mark a slant line like this. Then mark another one. You can go ahead and mark whatever you want on your dress. Just go ahead and play around with this. Okay, so just go ahead and mark out whatever you want. So guys, I've gone ahead to sew the boba bias I made earlier on those structures I marked. So that part didn't show in this video. Maybe when next I am making a corset dress, I will try as much as possible to show that part. But how to sew it is very easy. Just go ahead and pin the boba bias on all the structures, then sew it at one side, then sew the other side. Very easy. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and sew the cup on the dress. To do that, I will go ahead and check the pattern number. This is number 1, which is going to be at the center. So the part that has number 1 is supposed to be at the center, the middle. Then I'll go ahead and place this other side. That is why it's very important for you to label it or to mark it. Okay, so I'll go ahead and pin the middle of the cup to the middle of the dress. I will pin it to one side. After pinning this side, I'll go ahead and pin the other side like this. Okay, so guys, after pinning it, I realized that there was so much excess on the cup, so I just wanted to remove the pin and trim it out like this. Okay, I'll just trim it so that after sewing it, they will not be gaping and all that. Then I'll do the same thing for the other cup. I'll go ahead and trim out the excesses like this, so it is normal. Just go ahead and trim it out. After trimming it, I went ahead to pin it on it again. Then I will take to the sewing machine. I will sew it round like this. Okay. After sewing this part, I will go ahead and sew the other one. I will pin it on it and also sew it. So guys, I'm done sewing it, and this is how it look like. You can see how beautiful it is. So this is the back, as you can see. So I also went ahead to sew the lining as well. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to sew the yoke to the corset. To do that, I will go ahead and fold the corset into two like this. After folding it, I will arrange it, then trim out these excesses. Okay, it is normal for you to take note of these things. If you don't take note of it, you have issues with your yoke. So I'll go ahead and open it up. Then I will place the corsets on the yoke like this again. I will go ahead and pin the yoke to the corset like this. I will gently flip it back. Just watch out what I'm doing. Make sure you hold it tight and pin it. So I will first of all pin one side first. There are two methods in sewing yoke to your corset. So the first method is to pin one side first, then take it to the sewing machine and sew it like this to the middle. Then once you sew it to the middle, you will notch the middle. Then you pin this other side and also sew it. But the second method is what I'm going to be using. I will go ahead and continue pinning it. Like I will just go ahead and pin it to the end, take it to the same machine and sew it from the start to the end. Okay. So guys, I'm done sewing it, and this is how it look like. You can see how neat and clean this is. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to flip it back like this. I will pin it down. Please, when you want to pin it, make sure you tighten it and pin it, okay? Because I'm about to lining it. So I'll go ahead and place the lining on it, right side facing each other. I will go ahead and pin it down, okay? Just make sure you place it on it properly, then pin it down. After pinning it, I will turn it to this other side. I will take it to the same machine and sew it like this to the end. I'm done sewing it. I will just go ahead and trim out this excess, then notch it as you can see me doing. After notching, I will flip it open like this. I will top stitch on the lining. Just go ahead and use your hand to open it up like this and top stitch on it. When you are doing this, please exercise patience. Don't be in haste to finish it. After top stitching on it, I will sew this side like this. So guys, I'm done sewing it, and this is how it look like. After sewing it, I went ahead to turn it to the front, then iron it, and this is the part I sew. You can see how neat and clean this is. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and insert the bones on it. So to do that, I will go ahead and iron out the bone, okay, just to make it straight, and that's all. So I'll place the bone on the center part like this. First of all, I'll place it on the center part. I will measure it. So I will go up by 1 inch. I will minus 1 inch from the total length I have. I will cut it at. Then after cutting, I will use my lighter to burn the tip. Then I will insert it on it like this. Just make sure you minus 1 inch from the total measurement you have. Whatever you do for one is what you're going to be doing for the others, okay? So just go ahead and measure it and cut it out. Make sure you burn the tip to avoid it choking your dress. After I was done inserting it, I went ahead to iron it out, and this is how it look like. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to turn it to the back like this. Just watch out what I'm doing, you will understand. After turning it to the back, I will go ahead and pin the side like this. So when pinning the side, if the lining is shorter than the main dress, just go ahead and drag it and make it equal. So I'll go ahead and drag it like this and make it equal. Then I will pin it down. Just make sure you do this gently, okay? Don't be haste as I earlier said. So after pinning it, I will take it to the same machine. I will start sewing it from this point here down to this other side. So for this side, I will not sew it to the end. I will just stop it here like this. After sewing it, I will go ahead and notch it just like as you can see me doing. After notching it, I will go ahead and turn it to the front like this. After turning it, I will go ahead and use my scissors to choke out all the side like this, okay? So I noticed that one of the bones on it twisted. I will just go ahead and replace it properly. Then I will close up the side like this and sew it down. So guys, I'm done sewing it, and this is how it look like. This is the back part of it, as you can see. The next thing I'm going to be working on is the back. So I will just go ahead and place the yoke on the fabric like this. I hope you guys are see what I'm doing. Then I will place the lining on it to cover it like this, right side facing each other. Then I'll go ahead and pin it. Please, before you start pinning it, take note of something. I will go ahead and shift the yoke in with 1/2 inch before I start pinning it. Then I'll go ahead and sew the top. I will sew the side like this. Then I will sew this other side. I will stop here. Then I will sew it down. Okay. So guys, I'm done sewing it. After I was done sewing it, I went ahead to turn it out to the front, then iron it. So this is the part where I left. Okay, this is where I turned it out from. And this is the other one. I will just go ahead and sew it down. Okay. After I was done sewing it, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and sew my zip on it. So please take note of what I'm about to say. If you want to sew zip on your blouse, please don't start sewing it from the top to the hemline. Go ahead and sew from the down to the top, okay? So as a fashion designer, I believe you should know how to sew zip on your blouse. So guys, I will be coming up with a beginners online class where I will be teaching you how to draft, cut and sew a basic top, basic trouser, basic skirt. Then I'll be teaching you how to sew zip on your top, your skirt, your gown. And also I'll be teaching you that manipulation, how to shaping your dress, how to cut and sew different type of sleeves, the things you need to have as a fashion designer, tips and tricks on how to sew a perfect knitwork, and also I'll be sharing a lot of things you need to know as a fashion designer with you guys. There are so many things you'll be learning on that online class. So if you're interested, make sure you follow me on Instagram at official promoted Sandra, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to learn more about cutting and sewing. I'm done sewing the zip. You can see how neat and equal it is. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and sew the shoulder of the front and the back together. So I'll just go ahead and pin it like this. Then I will pin the other one. After pinning it, I will take it to the sewing machine and sew it. So guys, I'm done sewing it. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to shaping my dress. To shaping it, I will pin the two sides together. Then I will take my body measurement and shaping it. So if you're interested in learning how to shape your dress perfectly well, how to cut sew, make sure you follow me on Instagram at official promoted Sandra. Once the class is up, I will post it on Instagram, and also subscribe to my channel. So guys, I'm done sewing it. The next thing I'm going to be attaching to it is my sleeve. So I already have a video up there on the channel on how to draft a basic sleeve. In case you've not watched it, go and watch it. So I'll go ahead and sew my sleeve on the dress. Thank you guys for watching. If this video was really helpful, don't forget to like, comment, share with your friends, share on your WhatsApp, on your Instagram, and don't forget to also follow me on Instagram at official promoted Sandra, Facebook promoted Sandra, and TikTok promoted Sandra. See you guys on my next video. Bye.